Strength is an illusion. Think about it. How many times have you relied on willpower alone to push through life's challenges, only to burn out or fail? What if I told you that true strength isn't about forcing yourself to endure, but about understanding something far deeper? Stick around, because this might change how you see everything. Let's get one thing straight. Life doesn't care how tough you think you are. It's going to throw curveballs, setbacks, and moments that feel impossible. And when those moments hit, you'll realize something. Willpower alone isn't enough. That's why the idea of strength as we know it is a myth. It's not about how much you can carry, it's about how you carry it. Today, we're diving into why the concept of strength is often misunderstood and how you can build something far more powerful: inner resilience. Here's the problem. Most of us are taught to believe that strength is about pushing harder, grinding longer, and never showing weakness. We're told to tough it out or suck it up. But what happens when that approach fails? Because it will. You can't outmuscle every problem. You can't out-willpower every obstacle. Eventually, you hit a wall. And when you do, you're left feeling defeated, wondering why your so-called strength wasn't enough. The truth is, relying on brute force, whether it's physical, emotional, or mental, is a flawed strategy. It's like trying to hold back a river with your hands. Sooner or later, the water will break through. That's why the idea of strength as we know it is an illusion. Real strength isn't about force. It's about understanding, adaptability, and a deeper kind of power. So, if traditional strength is a myth, what's the alternative? How do you navigate life's challenges without burning out or breaking down? That's what we're exploring today. The myth of willpower. Let's talk about willpower. We hear about it all the time. People say you need more of it. You need to push through. You need to be stronger. But what if I told you that's not how it works? What if I told you willpower is a myth? Think about this. You wake up in the morning full of energy, full of determination. Today is the day. Today, you're going to make it happen. And for a while, you do. You stay focused. You resist distractions. You push yourself forward. But then something happens. Your energy dips. Your focus wavers. And suddenly that iron doesn't feel so iron anymore. That's because willpower is like a battery. It drains, it runs out. It's not infinite. It's not some magical force you can tap into endlessly. If you've ever tried to stick to a strict diet, you know exactly what I mean. Day 1, you're motivated. Day 2, you're determined. But by day 5, that cookie on the counter looks a lot better than it did before. And suddenly, all that willpower is gone. So what do? Do we just give up? Do we accept that we don't have enough willpower? Number. That's not the answer. The answer is to stop relying on it in the first place. Willpower is a tool, not a strategy. And tools wear out. But systems last. Let me explain. Imagine you're walking into a dark room. You need light. You have 2 choices. 1, you can carry a candle everywhere you go, constantly watching the flame, making sure it doesn't go out. Or 2, you can install a light switch. 1 flick and you have light. No effort, no struggle, just results. Most people live their lives carrying candles. They push, they strain, they rely on willpower to get through every challenge, and eventually they burn out. The strong ones, the smart ones, they install light switches. They create habits, routines, and environments that remove the need for willpower altogether. Think about successful people, the ones who seem unstoppable, the ones who don't quit, who don't break down. Do you think they're running on pure willpower? Number. They have systems. They don't waste energy making the same choices over and over again. They set themselves up so success is automatic. Let's say you want to read more books. You could try forcing yourself to remember. You could try pushing yourself every day, hoping that sheer determination will get you to sit down and read. Or you could create a system. Put the book on your pillow every morning. Make it impossible to go to bed without picking it up. Now you don't need willpower. You just made it easy. Want to eat healthier? Don't rely on willpower to resist junk food. Change your environment. Remove the temptation. Fill your kitchen with good options. Now, eating well isn't a battle. It's your only choice. That's how the greats do it. They don't fight with themselves. They don't drain their energy on unnecessary struggles. They set up systems so they don't need to struggle in the first place. That's real strength. That's real power. But here's the best part. Once you build these systems, they do the work for you. You don't have to think about them. You don't have to force them. They become automatic. And suddenly, the person who needed willpower to succeed is gone. Now you just succeed. Look at any elite athlete, any top performer, any person at the peak of their game. They don't wake up every day wondering if they feel like training. They don't waste time deciding whether to work or not. They have routines, they have habits. They've removed the need for choice. That's the secret. That's the truth. Willpower is a myth because it was never meant to carry you to success. It's a tool, a temporary boost, but it's not a foundation. If you want real, lasting success, you need more than willpower. You need a system, a strategy, a structure that makes success the default. So the next time you catch yourself saying, I just need more willpower, stop. Stop and ask yourself, what system am I missing? What habit can I build? What structure can I create to make success automatic? Because real strength isn't about forcing yourself to endure. It's about creating a life where endurance isn't necessary. It's about working smarter, not harder. And that, my friends, is how you win. Let's talk about strength, real strength. At first glance, strength looks simple. We admire it, we celebrate it, we measure it. Look at the athlete who lifts more weight than anyone else. Look at the CEO who works 80-hour weeks. Look at the person who never seems to break, no matter how much pressure is on them. That's strength, right? Not quite, because that kind of strength, it can be deceiving. It's external strength. It's what we can see. It's visible. It's tangible. And for a while, it looks unstoppable. But here's the truth. External strength is fragile. It's like a glass wall, solid, impressive, even intimidating. But take a hammer to it, and it shatters into 1,000 pieces. A bodybuilder with massive muscles can still tear a ligament. A powerful businessman can still have a nervous breakdown. A workaholic can still burn out. The problem? External strength has limits. It relies on circumstances. It depends on things going right. It needs control, structure, predictability. But life doesn't work that way. Life is unpredictable. It doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't give warnings. It just happens. And when life hits, when the storm comes, external strength alone isn't enough. So what is? Inner resilience. Inner resilience is different. It's quiet. It's unseen. It's not about how much weight you can lift or how many hours you can grind. It's about how you respond when things go wrong. It's about endurance. It's about flexibility. It's about getting hit and still standing. Think of a tree in a storm. The ones that stand stiff and rigid, they snap, they break. But the ones that bend, the ones that sway with the wind, they survive. That's resilience. It's not about being unshakable. It's about being unbreakable. And there's a difference. Unshakable means you never move. It means you resist. It means you fight the wind with everything you've got. But unbreakable, that means you adjust, you adapt, you bend so you don't snap. Resilience is what keeps people going when everything says stop. It's what lets you get knocked down 7 times and get up 8. It's the fire inside you that refuses to go out. And here's the best part. Resilience can be built. External strength fades, muscles weaken, endurance runs out. But inner resilience, that grows. It's built through hardship. It's built through struggle. Every setback, every challenge, every difficulty, it's all fuel for resilience. You don't develop resilience in easy times. You develop it when things go wrong, when you're tested, when you're stretched, when you think you can't take any more, but somehow you do. So how do you build it? First, you shift your mindset. Stop looking at struggles as obstacles. Start seeing them as training. Every challenge is making you stronger. Every difficulty is refining you. Second, you embrace failure. Not just accept it, embrace it. Failure isn't the end, it's the process, it's the lesson, it's the stepping stone. People who fear failure never grow. People who learn from failure become unstoppable. Third, you control what you can and let go of what you can't. Some things are out of your hands. You can't control the storm, you can't control the wind, but you can control how you respond. You can control your attitude. You can control your effort. That's where your power is. Fourth, you stay in motion. Resilient people don't freeze. They don't stay stuck. They keep moving, even if it's slow, even if it's 1 inch at a time. Motion creates momentum, and momentum keeps you going. Fifth, you build a strong foundation. Surround yourself with people who lift you up. Feed your mind with wisdom. Strengthen your spirit. Because when the storm comes, and it will, you want roots that go deep. At the end of the day, external strength is good. It's useful, but it's not enough. Real strength, the kind that lasts, the kind that carries you through life, is resilience. Be like the tree that bends. Be like the fire that refuses to go out, because life will test you. Life will challenge you. Life will knock you down. But if you've built resilience, you'll always get back up. The illusion of invincibility. Let's talk about the illusion of invincibility. We grow up believing that strength means never breaking, never bending, never asking for help. We see heroes in movies, leaders in business, icons in history, all standing tall, unwavering, untouched by struggle. And so we try to be the same. We armor up. We pretend we don't feel pain. We push through exhaustion. We ignore the signs because we think that's what strong people do. But let me tell you something. That's not strength. That's a myth. That's an illusion. No one is invincible. No one. Not me, not you, not the greatest minds, the strongest athletes, the most successful people. Every single person has a breaking point, and that's okay. The real problem isn't that we have limits. The real problem is believing that we shouldn't have any, because that belief sets us up for failure. It keeps us trapped in a cycle of pushing, pretending, and eventually falling apart. Imagine trying to hold up a collapsing building with your bare hands. No matter how strong you are, no matter how determined, you can't do it. Eventually, the weight becomes too much. That's what happens when we refuse to acknowledge our limits. The stress builds, the pressure mounts, and one day, everything comes crashing down. Real strength isn't about standing there, refusing to move, trying to hold it all together on your own. Real strength is knowing when to step back, knowing when to ask for help, knowing when to rest. That's not weakness, that's wisdom. Think about the strongest people you know, the ones who endure, the ones who keep going year after year, setback after setback, challenge after challenge. They aren't the ones who never break. They're the ones who know how to bend, the ones who know when to pause, the ones who know when to lean on others. That's the secret. So why do we resist? Why do we fear showing weakness? Because we've been taught that vulnerability is something to avoid, that admitting we're tired or overwhelmed or afraid somehow makes us less capable, less worthy, less strong. But that's the biggest lie of all. The truth is, strength and vulnerability are not opposites. They go hand in hand. You can be strong and still need help. You can be resilient and still have moments of doubt. You can be confident and still admit when you don't know the answer. That's real power. So the next time you feel like you have to carry everything alone, stop, breathe. Remember, you are not a machine. You are human, and humans are not meant to be invincible. We are meant to be adaptable, to grow, to learn, to lean on each other. That's where real strength comes from, the role of preparation and daily habits. So, if real strength isn't about never breaking, what is it about? It's about preparation. It's about habits. It's about what you do every single day, not just in the big moments, but in the small ones. Because strength isn't built in a single moment of courage. It's built in the quiet, consistent choices you make over time. Think about a marathon runner. They don't just wake up one day and decide to run 26 miles. They train, they prepare, they build endurance, step by step, day by day. It's not the race that makes them strong. It's the months and years of training before the race. Life is the same way. Strength isn't something you turn on when you need it. It's something you build long before the moment comes. So how do you prepare? How do you build real strength? Through daily habits, through small intentional actions, through the discipline of showing up for yourself again and again, even when no one is watching. Start with your mind. Your thoughts shape your reality. What you focus on expands. If you fill your mind with doubt, fear, and negativity, that's what you'll see in the world. But if you train your mind to focus on solutions, on gratitude, on possibility, you'll build resilience. You'll see opportunities where others see obstacles. You'll find a way forward when others give up. Next, take care of your body. Strength isn't just mental, it's physical. You can't pour from an empty cup. If you're running on fumes, if you're neglecting your health, if you're treating your body like an afterthought, you won't have the energy to face life's challenges. Sleep, move, eat well, take care of yourself, not just when it's convenient, but as a daily discipline. And then build habits that keep you grounded. Reflection, mindfulness, taking time each day to check in with yourself. Where are you? How are you feeling? What do you need? Life moves fast, and it's easy to get lost in the noise. But real strength comes from knowing yourself, your limits, your triggers, your values. And that only happens when you take the time to listen. People look at successful, resilient individuals and think they must have some secret. But the truth is, there's no secret. There's just preparation, just habits, just daily, consistent effort. The difference between those who thrive and those who struggle isn't luck. It's not talent. It's the small choices made every single day. So start today. One habit, one step, one commitment to yourself. Not for anyone else, not for recognition, but because real strength isn't about what you do when the pressure is on. It's about what you do when no one is watching. And when the challenges come, and they will, you won't have to pretend to be invincible. You won't have to fake it, because you'll know deep down that you've done the work, that you're ready, that you are strong in the way that matters most. Not in the illusion of being unbreakable, but in the power of being prepared. Strength in connection. Strength is not about isolation. It's not about proving you can do it all alone. That's a trap many fall into. They think independence means refusing help. They think strength means carrying the burden alone, but that's an illusion. Look around. The strongest people in history, leaders, athletes, visionaries, none of them did it alone. They had mentors, they had teams, they had people who lifted them up when they were down. That's real strength. You see, strength is not measured by how much you can carry. It's measured by how wisely you distribute the load. A lone wolf might seem powerful, but a pack survives. A single soldier may be brave, but an army wins the war. Connection is the secret ingredient to lasting strength. Think of a tree. It stands tall, but not because of its trunk alone. It stands because its roots dig deep and intertwine with others. It draws support from the soil, from the rain, from the ecosystem around it. If it were alone, without roots, it would fall with the first strong wind. Life works the same way. You need roots, you need people, you need a support system. Not because you're weak, but because you're human. And humans thrive in connection. But society sells a different story. It praises self-reliance to the point of exhaustion. It tells you to grind, to push, to never stop. It tells you that asking for help is a sign of failure. And that's where people struggle. They break down because they think they have to do it all. They burn out because they refuse to rest. Imagine a marathon runner. They don't run without water. They don't train without guidance. They don't cross the finish line without supporters cheering them on. If they tried to run without those things, they wouldn't make it. It's not weakness to take water. It's not weakness to follow a coach. It's wisdom. It's balance. Strength is about knowing when to push and when to pause, when to lead and when to follow, when to give and when to receive. It's about understanding that no one is meant to walk alone. Even the best need help. Some believe that strength means never showing vulnerability, but that's another illusion. Vulnerability is not weakness, it's truth, it's courage. It's standing in your reality and saying, I can't do this alone. And that's powerful, because the moment you open up, you invite support. And with support, you rise higher than you ever could alone. Think about the most successful people. They don't just have talent, they have teams, they have networks, they have communities that believe in them. They didn't get there by shutting people out. They got there by letting the right people in. And this applies to all areas of life. In business, no empire is built by one person. In relationships, no love thrives in isolation. In personal growth, no one evolves without guidance. Every step forward is powered by connection. Look at history, look at nature, look at any successful venture. The pattern is clear. Strength isn't about standing alone. It's about standing together. So let go of the illusion. Release the idea that you have to carry it all. Learn to lean, to trust, to build. Because real strength is not in how much you can take alone. It's in how much you can achieve together. No one wins alone. No one grows alone. No one succeeds alone. Strength is a collective effort. And the sooner you embrace that, the stronger you become. Here's the key takeaway. Strength isn't something you have. It's something you cultivate. It's not a fixed trait or a badge of honor. It's a process. And that process starts with letting go of the illusion that you need to be unbreakable. The moment you stop trying to be strong in the traditional sense is the moment you start building real resilience. You begin to see challenges not as threats, but as opportunities to grow. You stop fighting against the current and start learning how to flow with it. That's the secret. That's the shift that changes everything. When you stop chasing the illusion of strength, you find something far more powerful: peace, clarity, and the ability to handle whatever life throws your way. So, let's recap. Strength as we know it is an illusion. It's not about force, endurance, or willpower. Real strength is about mindset, preparation, and balance. It's about understanding your limits, building resilience, and knowing when to ask for help. When you embrace this approach, you stop struggling against life's challenges and start navigating them with grace. You stop trying to be unbreakable and start becoming unshakable. And that's a kind of strength that lasts.